Hey, good morning, everyone. This is the May 12th live update of events going on in the supply chain. Casey Larkin here with Change. I'm going to be our guest host today. So thanks for coming up and joining today. Can you talk a little bit about who is Casey Larkin and tell us a little bit about Change?
Yeah, for sure. Pleasure to be here, Nathan. Really appreciate you having me. I'm Casey Larkin. Among a couple other things, I'm the head of sponsorship experience here at the Change Conference. So I got my start in the world of freight and supply chain, working for Freight Waves for 5.5 years, putting on events, working on the media side of things there. And yeah, something that we certainly learned at Freight Waves and something that we're certainly focused on now is the global nature of supply chains, right? Change is a conference that's owned by the Association for Supply Chain Management. It's been around in one capacity or another since the 50s. I know a lot of people are familiar with the APIX certifications. So, if you see some alphabet soup next to somebody in supply chain, a supply chain exec, 9 times out of 10, that is coming from APIX and ASCM. So they've got great relationships with all the big brands, the big shippers. I'm excited to be providing an opportunity in Brussels in June, and then one in Columbus as well for leaders in supply chain to come together and noodle through how to turn disruption into opportunity. Be conversations on everything from navigating geopolitical tensions up to and through how to leverage AI for a more efficient supply chain. So kind of the full gamut of topics being discussed in a truly collaborative type of event, not as much of a trade show as it is a conference, if you will. Bart DeMonk, formerly with Gartner, excited to have him on as the chair for the EU event, emceeing in Columbus for the North American event as well. In addition to him, in Europe, we'll get insights from Henrik von Schiele, the founder of Strategic Intelligence and the originator of Industry 4.0, talking about the future of supply chain 4.0, if you will. A really awesome opportunity for attendees to, it's a small event, 150, 200 people, interact with folks like Henrik that, would be pretty hard to nail down in Davos. Even if you could afford to go there, you'll be able to connect with folks like Henrik. And we've got Anastasia Lowry from the American Chamber of Commerce to the European Union. Oracle, Moody's are sponsors. I know they're excited to, help folks with navigating these geopolitical tensions and sustainability, respectively.
I'm certainly excited about it. I have not been to Belgium yet, so I'm happy to be able to check that one. How about the show coming up later on in the year in Columbus?
Yeah. For sure. It'll be a bigger event, trending towards a couple thousand attendees this year. I mentioned earlier, ASCM has been around for a long time. That means the shippers, they really show out for this show. If you clicked over to the exhibitors and sponsors, you can kind of see a breakdown of
all right
who you could expect to attend from a job title and industry perspective. Very heavy on industrial and manufacturing. Really nice mixture of the manufacturers and then the retailers as well, certainly in attendance. Decision maker, kind of heavy audience. It's like 83% are in some type of decision-making type of role. But yeah, I think there are 850 different brands represented last year. I think Lockheed Martin had 9 or 10 folks walking the floor.
And how might folks interact with you specifically in relation to these events?
With me, I am happy to help anybody on the sponsorship side of things. One thing that's unique for sponsors here at Change is the opportunity to sponsor and help co-lead roundtable workshops. So we've got 10 different roundtable workshops outlined for North America and Europe. It's an opportunity if you're a vendor, right, and you are like a Moody's, that you can sponsor a roundtable, and they are sponsoring a roundtable in North America to sit down with current or prospective Moody's partners, figure out how they're thinking about all this disruption that's going on, see if they can't help identify ways to navigate them.
Awesome. And you're pretty easy to reach on LinkedIn. How are some other ways that folks could get in touch with you?
Yes, you could hit me up on LinkedIn for sure. You could drop me an email, casey.l@pesty.io. You could also hit the lead form there on the Change website.
Well, thanks for chatting a bit with us about what's coming up in the world of change, both in Europe and here in Columbus later on in the year. Maybe we'll kind of get kicked off and just talk a little bit more about other events going on. And so a quick shout out to CSCMP, who is one of the sponsors for the calendar of events. Just a quick shout out more specifically about their European conference coming up June 19th to 20th in Verona. Where I'm excited to go hang out with those folks there as well. So let's take a quick look at what happened last week. And Casey, anytime you want to chime in on any of this, feel free. I think one of the big things that got a lot of visibility was the IWLA annual conference last week. The systems logic team really kind of goes all out for these things, I think. And if you didn't catch it, Anthony posted like a really fun little Old Town Road kind of entrance video coming out on this horse out for one of the events. So that looked like a pretty good time. Like I said, I saw a lot of pictures and buzz going on around that event going on out there in Tucson. Yeah.
I love that. That
pretty
was,
nice venue.
Definitely. Old Town Road is a bit of a throwback, I guess, at this point in time.
A little bit. Yeah.
That's my deal close song at Freight Waves. Whenever I had a new sponsor or advertiser, would have Old Town Road blasting throughout the office there at Freight Waves.
So another thing that happened last week was a little bit closer here to home. Check in with my friends here at the ASCM North Texas chapter. They were hosting an event where they had a special speaker come in from Corber to chat about AI's impact on supply chain. So that was a treat to be able to go hang out with the ASCM folks here in DFW. Well, let's take a quick look at what's coming up this week. So for those who aren't in the know, my website, supplychain.com, has this events calendar that aggregates things up reasonably well. Of course, I can't get everything in the world on here, but if we do a quick rundown of what's going on right now today, the National Private Truck Council is having their annual conference in Orlando. Automate's going on in Detroit. There's actually a pretty cool event going on here in DFW tomorrow, which is this facility where they transform, well, I guess it's conversion is the more proper word, Boeing 777s from passenger planes into cargo planes. And that's done here in DFW at a facility. And the NDTA is doing a free tour of that facility. That's kind of cool. I should probably try to get there. Maybe this is something maybe you might be a little bit familiar with, Casey. FreightWaves is hosting a freight fraud symposium. Say that 5 times fast. Here in Dallas. In Houston they're having a mixer and networking event at the Houston Dynamo Football Club event. Not sure if it's still open, but that's a couple days out from now. And then in Kansas City, they're having a freight happy hour there. I saw Danielle Spinelli talking a bit about this. I get the feeling she'll be there. Some other notable events coming up is Home Delivery World in Nashville. And then there's the Supply Chain Social Club events, which are on Thursday the 22nd. That's the Warehousing After Dark event. You can stay out late with us, Warehousing After Dark on the 22nd, and then wake up and have some coffee at the Global Trade Cafe. We're getting more and more international folks from South America and Europe and otherwise on those events. And then the last one here I think I'll touch on is the Revenue Workshop. Revenue Engine Workshop is coming into Dallas on the 30th of May, and I will be able to see all of you all there and hang out with the folks that are looking to learn from Kara and her intelligence and smarts on how to drive revenue. Let's see.
Wonderful things about the book.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's on the list. I haven't gotten to it yet. Have you?
I haven't. On some flights this past weekend, I listened to a podcast with Kara and Kevin Lawton, if I'm not mistaken. Casey, any last thoughts for this Monday's events update before we let people get on with their week?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of events out there for folks to get together and figure out how to navigate ever-evolving supply chains. So exciting time to be in our industry.
Always. All right. Thanks for coming on and joining as the guest host today, Casey, and chatting a little bit with us about change. And we'll see you around next time.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me, Nathan.